Hello, my friends. Happy Sunday. We are back into our unit about missions, and we are going to another country. Are you ready? Yeah, me too. This is a beautiful little country, and it's called Bulgaria. Can you see it right there? A tiny little green spot on this one. Look it up on your own globe, or your own map, or your own Google. But we've been going from country to country. I hope you guys are watching each one. Go back on TVC Kids Nashville if you've missed some. We're learning about really interesting places that God has created and put his people in. All right, so my friend Michelle came and told us all about Bulgaria. And Bulgaria is a beautiful, beautiful place. But one of the things that's beautiful about it is the snow. Who likes winter here? Yeah? Who likes summer? Yeah, I kind of like summer, but every once in a while a good snow. But if you live in Bulgaria, you have snow from October all the way through to April. That's a lot of snow. I grew up in Chicago, so I remember what that long period of snow was like, but Bulgaria has even more. But it's a very beautiful country. It's surrounded by like Greece and Turkey and Macedonia, all in that Black Sea area. All right, and so it's a beautiful, beautiful country. It's about the size of Tennessee. So we're learning a lot about little teeny tiny countries and then some really big countries. This is a little teeny tiny country, but they have a lot of really beautiful things there. Do you want to see one of the beautiful things they have? They make pottery. Is that not gorgeous? They make a lot of different kinds of pottery there. So they're very creative people. Look at these too. These are made out of wood. Can you believe that? I'm going to show it to you a little bit closer. So it's carved and burned. The wood is burned to make all the different colors. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so they're very creative people there. They also grow something there that's very beautiful. And you might be able to see, they grow a certain flower. Can you tell what kind of flower is on my shirt today? Can you see what kind of flower is on my earrings today? All right. Is it a daisy? No. Is it a zinnia? No. A sunflower? No. It's a rose. Yeah, they grow lots and lots of roses. For some reason, God made this a place where roses grow well. And so they make a lot of the world's rose oil. Now, have your moms or aunts or grandmas or anybody ever worn perfume? Yeah. Do you sometimes sneak and get a little bit of your mom's perfume or ask and get a little bit of your mom's perfume? Yeah. Well, if you did, you probably have had rose oil from Bulgaria. So the oil, this is just a really pretty little bottle that Michelle brought back. And she said this was about 15 years ago, and you could still smell it. I wish this was smell-o-vision, and you could smell right through the television, but it smells so beautiful, the rose oil. So most of the rose oil in the world is made and grown in Bulgaria. Pretty cool, right? Well, there's a couple other kind of fun things about Bulgaria. They speak, what language do you think they speak? Bulgarian, right? All right, pretty easy. But there's something about their language and some things that they do that is kind of different, all right? So when you want to say, yes, Mom, I want a cookie, you go like this, right? But in Bulgaria, that means no. And this means yes. So if Mom says, do you want a cookie? You would have to go like this. And do you want to do your chores now? You would have to go no, like this. All right? So let's play a little game. Are you a kid? You would have to shake your head no. But that means yes. Whew. Pretty confusing, right? See if you could play with your sisters and brothers this week and be Bulgarian and say no and yes. Whew, it's so hard to do. It's so hard to do, but that just shows you that cultures are different, right? And actually, in Bulgaria, there is a whole nother people group and another culture. And these people are called the Roma people. And that's who Michelle went to work with. Now, some of the great things about the Roma people, they love their families. They love their families and they love celebrations. They would throw a wedding and it would last for 3 days long. And they would wear things like this and dance. Don't you love that? Yeah, they would dance and they would wear these beautiful belts, all right? They would dress up and get so fancy when it was time to have a celebration. The other thing about the Roma people, though, that's not so good is they're not always welcome. Sometimes the Roma people would be called gypsies. And they're not gypsies like you would see in movies where they would travel in like traveling carts. They live here. Bulgaria is their home. And but the Bulgarian people don't always make them feel welcome. All right? They're a little bit different in that their skin is a little bit different. And they're not really sure where they come from. Some people think maybe in India, different places around the world, but they've come together and they have one culture. All right? And this culture is beautiful. And these kids and these people are beautiful. But the Bulgarian people don't make them feel welcome. They don't let them go to the same schools. They don't let them live in the same neighborhood. It would be like if you lived in your neighborhood and someone moved in that was a little different and your whole neighborhood said, no, you cannot live there. That's what's happening in Bulgaria. So that's why Michelle went to work with these people and these kids particularly. All right. So let me see if I can show you some pictures of these kids. All right. Look at these beautiful children. Are they not gorgeous? I love them. Here's another picture of them. So beautiful. Here's their church, because they do have a church in the Roma village. All right. And then I want to show you at least one picture of Michelle walking with them. Do you see their homes in the background? Those homes don't look very nice, do they? No. It doesn't look like a place where they'd have beautiful pottery and grow roses, right? The places where the Roma people have to live, they're very poor. And so they don't have nice houses, and they don't have beautiful places to live. Even inside this beautiful country, their villages are very, very poor. And so that's why Michelle went to work with them. So, so many of them live in poverty. But the one thing that the Roma people have is God. And they say, we don't know where we've come from. All right, so they have come from all different places. And one of the interesting things about them is that they have their own language too, which is pretty typical, right? A lot of different places have their own language, but the Roma people have their own language, but they speak that language until the kids are 5 years old. And then when they're 5, they go to school and they have to learn Bulgarian. Now, what if you didn't learn the language that you were going to learn in school until you were 5 years old? You guys started talking your language when you were like 2 or maybe even 3, but they're 5 already before they get to even hear and learn Bulgarian. So that sets them apart in school as well, right? So they go to school and they're going to learn, and they have their books and they have their studies and their teachers, and that's all going to be in Bulgarian. But they've never learned that language. Do you think that would be hard? Yeah, I think so too. All right, so the Bulgarian people, there's many kind, friendly people, but for some reason, they've held these Roma people aside. Do we ever want to do that? No. Does God want us to do that? No, he says, love your neighbor, right? Love your neighbor. No matter where you're at. It doesn't mean just your next door neighbor. It means all the people around you. The Roma people and the Bulgarians, they should love each other, right? But that's why missionaries go. That's why someone like Michelle goes, and she works with the Roma people and makes sure they know about God. They do know about God, and helps them in their school. Their pastors and their teachers, they don't only work one job. They're poor, remember? So they work many jobs. And so Michelle was there to help with the kids and work. She stayed for 3 years there. Do you think she made some friends? I know she did. She even got to be part of one of their weddings. She got to get to be part of their culture. She got to learn the hearts of the people there. All right? Do you guys think you would ever want to go to a foreign land and learn about people? Do you think you'd ever want to go and tell people about Jesus? Do you think you would ever want to go and just help in the daily lives of people that are different than you? I hope you would. I hope you would. The people are not... They're just different, right? Their skin's different, their culture's different. Wow, what a great thing to learn. I have loved learning each week about people that are different than us, right? All right, and so I hope that you will also want to learn about people that are different than you. All right, I hope you'll look all through your city. If we're in Nashville, we are in Nashville, but if you're in Nashville, there's people from all over the world that live in our country. in our city. And I hope that you'll learn. Go around, ask mom and dad, say, let's go eat somewhere that I've never eaten before. Let's learn about people from all around the world. And let's make sure that we love them. Now, the Roma people, I told you there was something special about them. They don't know where they're from. And when they would travel around, remember I said they speak their family language, the Roma language, right? There's Roma people in all different countries all around. But if they get together, guess what? They could all speak to each other. The language is very similar. They have the same language. But when they're in Bulgaria, it's a very separate thing, right? And probably where the other Roma people are, it's also very separate. So they have something special, though. They say that we may not know where we're from. We don't know where our ancestors came from. We're not sure exactly where they came from. But, this is a great but we know where we're going because they know Jesus. So they know where they're going. They know that they're going to heaven. Do you guys know you're going to heaven? I hope you do. I hope this week you'll learn about places, you'll learn about people, you'll go and visit people, you'll love your neighbor, and you'll love God. He loves you guys so very much. And I love you too, and I hope you have a beautiful week. I'll see you next week.